She was a massive fan of Steve Jobs, hence my turtleneck today, because she would...
But her turtleneck too.
She kind of transformed herself to like a geeky kind of dressing, person, and she got a transformation from, it's raining here. She got a transformation from that and started dressing really sleek like Steve. She actually had an interesting thing where she had a really deep baritone voice. And if you look up some of the interviews with her, it's striking, her voice. You don't expect it from her stature.
It like knocks you back. You're like, whoa, wasn't expecting that.
And some of the way she talks in some of her speeches, it's almost hypnotic.
It is.
The tone and the rhythm of it.
Well, it's like strikes you at first, so you're like kind of engaged. You're kind of into the conversation with her, and then takes you on this like just sort of calm journey and getting you excited about her product. And you can definitely see that sort of sales skill that is just inherent to her nature.
So he, as in Steve Jobs, had a big effect on her way of operating. He had a famous reality distortion field where he said, I want a mouse that moves around without a ball in it. Make it, or...
No, I want a mouse.
Yeah, sorry. I want a mouse, and I want it tomorrow, and he'd scare people and say, like, you can do it,
What's a mouse? Like,
and...
You imagine a mouse without a mouse existing?
Yeah. So...
As we know it today.
And then he'd kind of /bully/ inspire some combination of the two, these brilliant engineers to make these things. But he kind of pushed them just beyond their limits, and she saw that and tried to embody that herself. So, for example, she would refuse to use any more blood than a tiny droplet of, tiny vial of blood, even though that would have significantly made it much easier for the engineers to actually invent something that worked.
Well, it's not the story that they were selling, She set the sort of minimum viable product at kind of the ultimate product. In reality, like she refused to give concessions, probably on an exaggerated version of what she was probably inspired by from Steve Jobs. I actually watched the other day. It was, I think, Steve coming back into Apple, post Next, and then being invited to come back in after Apple were going down the gurgler, and the initial launch of the new ad campaign, and it was amazing. It was such a great conversation. He rolls into this room of, I'm not sure whether it was investors and or just general public members or company members, but he just tells his story. He comes out in shorts. He's got like Birkenstocks on, and just tells his story of the journey they've been on for the last, 13 weeks. And it was the launch of the
iMac.
No, it was the ad campaign to start shifting the brand name of Apple. And it was the famous one that had all of the really notable people from history, where they had to go back into the various estates of those individuals. So Muhammad Ali had an ad campaign. It was just literally him, in one of his poses, and it had like the motto, which I can't recall at the moment. It's
Think different.
Think different. That was it. That's it. And had all of these great characters and people throughout time, and just completely started shifting Apple towards the brand from being this, more corporate centered technology company, because it was tending towards what I guess IBM probably was at the time, and then
more aspiration,
and shifted it towards being a vision for different people.